31, keep it there. This is a Youghiogheny River, okay? We're going to try to get as organized as we possibly.
Right, look at this warrior right here. Little does he realize, being in a Duckie, he may quickly become the star of the video. All right, sir, we'll definitely be watching you. Be careful. All right, well, he probably wishes we weren't watching him, but that's okay. And here we are. This is our put-in point just below the lovely and historic 18-foot Ohio Powell Falls. And look at this guy. He's got that high-performance inflatable Duckie, and he is not afraid. All right, don't let us down, sir. And for the rest of you guys, it's now time to get those feet wet. Dun, 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 dun. All right, well, I'm not exactly Deep Purple, but this is still Cucumber Rapid, and yes, we do have a little smoke on the water. How about it? Extra dramatic effect at no extra charge. Here's how you want to run this one. Don't get too distracted by all the rocks and fog. You've got a rapid to run. Come in just to the right of this rock here we call Table. On that green tongue we call Route 66. Too far right, you scrape over that rock, bounce through the hydraulic, and you're likely to encounter some of these nasty little nubbers right downstream. Make your move, you'll be on Route 66, and it's smooth sailing on down through there for the most part. Little bounce up and down for the people in the back. Good ride. Back of the school bus driving too fast over a speed bump. There comes our Duckie. Yes, indeedy. He's paddling like fury. Right on the money. And that's looking pretty good there, sir. All right. Back up. Well, it's still raining and the fog hasn't let up even a little bit. And we have now arrived at Railroad Rapid. You want to come in just to the right of that little point rock, and they're probably going to be sending you off here into no man's land today. Focus, darn it. But your other alternative, which is a little trickier, is to bust all the way out to the left of this pile of rocks we call the reef. Folks, they're magnetic, so you want to try and avoid becoming our first victims of the reef. Oh, everybody's just kind of jumbling on down there. Makes it tough for me. We'll do the best we can. Looks like Bonnie, excuse me, is up first here at Railroad. And boom, little bump there for this fellow on the left side of the raft. And just going to give him a little love tap and send him off into no man's land. Next raft, a little close to that washing machine. They better get down. Woo, all right, they angle back into it at the very last minute. Next crew. They're smooth though, you got to give it to them. Up next, the Duckie. Hopefully this guy stays smooth, at least for his sake. As always though, bad rafting equals great video. Woo! All right, he must have heard me. He was listening in there, and he jumped out of the raft. All right, so you didn't have to go through all that to make it an exciting video, but boy, let me tell you, I certainly appreciate it. All right, well, if I can find that darn button again, it's getting a little tricky holding on to this here umbrella. Time for me to head on down, and we'll see you at Dimple Rock Rapid. Woo, look at that guy go. He's good. And this is it. Dimple Rock Rapid. That, of course, is Dimple right there. You don't want to hit Dimple, or it might just flip your raft. Now upstream and to the right is the Pinball Rock. If you hit it, you are the pinball. You will ricochet out into the center of the river and probably find Dimple Rock at the end of all that. Basically, just find your angle, wait till you drive in between the two, and paddle forward. That's all there is. Okay, first off, to show us how this is done, hopefully, we have Mia's raft. They're doing a little too much fine tuning there, and they need to kick it in gear on that left side. Woo, they do so just in the nick of time, and that's how you want to do it. Maybe with a little less drama, but more or less. Oh, okay, maybe without getting bumped off the rock too. All right, good enough. Successful line at Dimple Rock out of their backsides. They're scraping down that washover. They might just do this, and they do flawlessly. All right, talk about coming out the compost pile smelling like a rose. Oh, they did, didn't they? And I hope it doesn't cost them anything. They just barely have cleared that pinball rock, and this is not good news, folks. I think we've got our first stunt double raft here today. Yikes. You guys didn't have to do that, honest. Well, this guy, he's a tough one, isn't he? We got the Lone Ranger there. This is a matter of timing here at Dimple Rock. And they're making their drive, and they're going to give Dimple just a little bump. Didn't cost them anything today, fortunately. Well, they'll give Washover an even bigger bump. But they're on their way. Right on the money here, lined up well at Dimple Rock. And left side needs to kick it into gear. They will do so and run a smooth line. Never done better, folks. Stunt double raft. I hope not. Oh boy, they're just bouncing around, pinballing all over. Just barely get their rear ends clear of the pinball rock. And this is not good news here, folks. Woo! They stood that thing on end. And did you see that? This guy here, he pushed them out. Yeah, it's got to be it. Late getting the camera started here, but he did kind of motion to me. And boy, that wasn't the okey-doke for a flip. I don't know what was. These guys are not looking too hot. They are definitely in the danger zone. And Jeff's trying to stomp them over in the danger eddy. Holy shnikes. These guys don't know how close they came. And they better watch out they don't come back in for round 2. Jeff's all over that situation. I think he's seen enough mess here for one day. And he's got them all high-siding. He's gonna look at that. That is good news for these guys. All right, how about that? They were given a turd sandwich, and Jeff helped them turn that turd sandwich into chocolate souffle. How about, especially when these guys aren't looking so hot in raft number 381. Jeff's yelling at them, and rightfully so. These guys are all over that pinball rock, and I don't like where this is going to end, folks. I think we've got ourselves, oh boy, another stunt double raft. Oh boy. Yes, this is not what we wanted to see here. And very dynamic flip. One over here. We got one tumbling around in there, do we? Nope. They were hiding under the raft. And folks, this right here is another little condition we call a yard sail, or it's mostly about finesse. And they are heading right for Dimple Rock, froze up like deer in the headlights, and oh no, this is not good news. Ah, yikes, we've got another raft in the drink. This is not quite what we wanted here. This guy's bouncing over that rock there. Holly's trying to slow some of them down. And folks, I gotta admit, this is almost getting boring at this point. Uh-oh, what did you do, Buck? There he goes. This kid's a little too much. Oh, and he needs to take his medication too, doesn't he? And last but certainly not least here, our final competitor at Dimple Rock Rapid is this fine gentleman in the Duckie. He's actually done pretty good for himself out here today in that thing. And that is all the time we have, and then some for the day. Woo! All right, folks.